Hi guys, NASA is going to crash a satellite into an asteroid. On the off chance that giant asteroids end up on a collision course with Earth, NASA is putting together a backup plan. The space agency has entered the preliminary design phase for its double asteroid redirection test, DART. This represents the first trial of what's called the kinetic impactor technique of asteroid deflection. Put another way, NASA hopes that by hurling a refrigerator-sized spacecraft at one of the space rocks at a speed roughly 9 times that of a bullet, it can knock the asteroid off course and save the Earth. The plan is to launch the first DART satellite at a binary asteroid called didymos, twins. The twin asteroids are scheduled to pass by Earth in 2022 and 2024. Neither pass poses any threat according to NASA. They don't pose any threat at the moment, but if NASA was to go ahead with their DART mission, it could cause a threat by knocking the asteroids into a trajectory with Earth where they are not currently on a trajectory with Earth. When I look at the iPad go-to video, this scene here is telling me a date. It may not be correct, but it's what I'm interpreting. A solar eclipse, twins in the background. When you look at the astrological chart, a solar eclipse is occurring on June the 21st, which is the last day of Gemini, the twins. So I think that's what it's saying here. The Antichrist is emerging during the solar eclipse, June 21st, with the twins. So it all lines up. Solar eclipse, twins, June 21st. Now I think when the Antichrist emerges, there's going to be 3.5 years where the system is in place. The Antichrist system. That takes us to December 21st, 2023. Now, I believe that that's when these asteroids that NASA plan to conduct this DART mission on will be coming to Earth, basically. Twin asteroids, Gemini, the twins, it all seems to connect. December 21st was obviously the date in 2012. People are looking out for Nibiru, Planet X. That's an extraterrestrial body slamming into the Earth. And if these two asteroids, didymos, twins, are going to be passing by the Earth in 2022, and NASA decides to use the DART mission to knock those asteroids into a trajectory with Earth, then more than likely they would be arriving maybe in 2023. Maybe timed exactly to arrive around December 21st, 2023. Alternatively, it could just be an illusion. Either way, that timing seems to have significance. So, keeping an eye out for those things. June 21st, someone emerging as the Antichrist. If the events we're talking about begin to transpire in this month, then more than likely we'll be at war this year. And as I've said, wars go on for quite a long time, but considering our advancement in technology, this war will probably be the shortest of all the wars. And it could be made shorter by this figure coming out, the Antichrist, delivering a false peace. And it's a false peace because obviously it's not going to last. Then by December 21st, 2023, we have the hail and fire mixed with blood, biblically, and we have the burning star coming down. And obviously, I think if they're using a space or a satellite, for example, to smash into one asteroid and use that asteroid to crash into the other one, it's like pool, snooker, or billiards in that case. In which case, you could have one of the asteroids breaking up from the impact, and that would most likely be the asteroid that's closest or furthest in front. As the satellite hits into the first asteroid, that would move. It wouldn't break, it would just move into the second one. But because of the mass of the first one crashing into the second one, it will most likely break up the first one, causing a meteor shower, or what would be interpreted as hail, fire, and blood. And then the second one comes, and that's the great star burning, crashing into the waters. That's my interpretation. Just trying to link the Bible with the real world events and the IPEC Go 2 video, because the IPEC Go 2 video is a manipulation of biblical events, so it's clear that they're linked in that way. January 21st, 20th to the 21st, we've got the super blood moon, wolf moon. Now, we're looking at for volcanic eruptions during that time, and it's interesting that the USGS is also warning of the potential for that to happen. One of the volcanoes that we've been looking at, Kilauea, a super blood moon, wolf moon, or super blood wolf moon, will grace the skies this month, and the astrological event could potentially cause a volcanic eruption on Hawaii, according to the US Geological Survey. According to the US Geological Survey, earthquakes can be up to 3 times more likely during high tides, which appears when a full moon is present. Lunar eclipses occur when the full moon passes into the shadow of the side of the Earth facing away from the sun. And because a lunar eclipse only takes place during a full moon, tides are higher during this time. Now, our theories of Kilauea erupting during the eclipse is fully taken from the IPEC Go 2 video. Now we have a real world organization who deals with earthquakes and volcanoes suggesting the same thing. Not just any volcano, Kilauea, the Hawaii volcano, the one we've been looking at for, year and a half. Obviously, when it started erupting on the 3rd of May 2018, it was interesting, and we thought there may be some connections there, but then it stopped, and it definitely could start up again. It's not gone dormant, it's still active, so keep an eye out for Hawaii, the Kilauea volcano erupting during the blood moon eclipse. That's not the only volcano we're watching though, we're also watching Mount Etna, and I find it interesting that the gematria for 1110, excuse me, I've gone off of it, let me just go back and see if I can find it again. Give me a second, I'm going to have to quickly scan read, see if I can find it again. Oh, I'm blessed to have this talent, I can read really quickly until I find what I'm looking for. There it is. Okay, Mount Etna, 1110. Now backwards, that's 0111. That's tomorrow. But I don't think the eruption of Mount Etna is going to occur tomorrow. I think we've got false flag events to look out for tomorrow. Maybe in association with the Rio Grande power plant, maybe in association with the One World Trade Center, Trump Tower, the Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty. One of those. Looking at something like that. There's also the possibility connected with the World Trade Center of Wall Street, because I only say that because we've had a lot of talk about the wall and a lot of talk about the stock market, and put those things together, it brings you to Wall Street. So again, the IPEC Go 2 video may show that, with all the business people being blown up in some way. Now, my interpretations for that have been also with the House, the House of Representatives, the Congress. So keeping all those translations in mind, and keep an eye out for tomorrow, 2 days away for some of you, because it's still the 9th of January in some places. Over here it's 1:45 in the morning on the 10th of January. So tomorrow for me, I'll be looking out for those things. One World Trade Center, Statue of Liberty, Trump Tower, Empire State Building, the Rio Grande power plant, Wall Street, and the House of Representatives. I don't think all of those things are going to happen, but one of them, I've got quite a few things running around in my mind, but those points appear to be where it starts, a 9/11 sort of event, which then leads into bigger things. But putting that aside for 0111 going backwards, 1110, you put those two together, you've got 21. Now 21st, as we said, 21 is the day of the blood moon eclipse, or the night of the blood moon eclipse, where we think that there's going to be volcanic eruptions followed by tsunamis caused by those eruptions. Mount Etna is one of those volcanoes, and it appears that it has that gematria of 1110 adding up to 21. That may be significant, it may not be. For me, it is. I'm looking at 21, I'm looking at eruptions. Then we get the gematria, Mount Etna eruption. And then we get a second confirmation, Kilauea volcano, also 11/10/21. And that one we've talked about as well. It's been talked about by the USGS now, and it appears to be depicted in an IPEC Go-To video where we have 2 and 1/21, 2 and 1/21, and a volcano on the apple being split next to Obama, who is from Hawaii. So we've connected that to the Kilauea volcano, but also with the foot and the volcano being on the apple, which could represent an island, has the same kind of geographical imagery as Mount Etna being just off the coast of Italy, which is shaped like a boot or a foot. So those two volcanoes, well, Mount Etna, Kilauea, looking out for them to erupt. One would affect the Pacific, one would affect the Mediterranean. Now we've also got the potential for the UK and for the east coast of the United States to be affected. I think that's connected with what we're seeing coming out of the wave just down here. It's difficult to see, especially when I've got it on a small screen. Let's make it a bit bigger. But just down here, you can see, made up in these numbers, you've got this image that comes out of what is this tsunami wave here. And to me, that's a submarine or a missile. It's got the number 2 on it. I've been saying that for a while, and I think that's connected with Sarmat 2, the Russian missile, which NATO have dubbed Satan 2. So obviously, we're looking at Antichrist and, you know, biblical references and stuff like that. A missile called Satan 2 would fit right in. Now this, I think, after the eruption of Mount Etna and Kilauea on the 21st during the blood moon, either shortly after that or the next day, or even on the 23rd, we have another tsunami, but it's caused by a nuclear device such as a tactical nuke, or more likely the Russian submarine Poseidon. The reason we've been talking about that for a long time, we've got the theory around the Babylon Canyon and how that could be used to create an earthquake and split the earth right into New York, as well as generating a tsunami in the Atlantic Ocean. That's pretty much the end of my analysis. Just bringing you some new information as well as some corroborating information. The new information being the NASA's plan to conduct this DART mission to hurl a satellite into an asteroid, which would then have a knock-on effect on the next asteroid. They're not on a collision course with Earth at the moment, but you know, in 2022, if they decide to do the DART mission, then it could be that there is then the possibility of the asteroids hitting Earth, because NASA have made it do so. Again, that could be an illusion, and it could just be, you know, it could be achieved with satellites falling through the atmosphere, making it look like burning debris or burning meteors, and nuclear devices set off in the ocean, making it look like an impact. Obviously, there won't be cameras around to show you, so you'll just have to take the word of the professionals, which we don't, because we know that they lie and cover things up. Not always. They do tell the truth, and that's the balance that they have to achieve, of being just truthful enough so that they're not too suspicious for the main public. But obviously, people who look a bit deeper can see there's imagery in their logos, in the things that they do, in the names that they give their spacecrafts and the asteroids. It's all sinister. And that may be linked with this video here, Antichrist emerging around June 21st, 3.5 years later. We're in December 2023, December 21st, 2023. That's obviously a year after the twin asteroids have passed by. That may be when NASA decide, let's move them towards the Earth. They take a year to come by, December 21st, 2023. We get those twin asteroids. And then we've got more closer events. So tomorrow, January the 11th, or 2 days away for some of you guys, January the 11th, we've got a whole bunch of things to watch out for. In terms of the gematria, 1110 or 0111 does give you a couple of things. Where's it gone? Sorry, 1 second. There we go. Gives you like Donald Trump, World Trade Center, targeted individual, stock market crash. So keep an eye out for something like that. That's why I've mentioned the World Trade Center, for example, the Wall Street, the stock market crashing. It's all linking to the financial system. And just for you guys who haven't seen it, in this video, right around here somewhere, forward. Basically, I'm trying to find the part where, there we are, where we have what looks like people in business suits, briefcases, could be an indication of, you know, stockbrokers, Wall Street, and then what looks like an explosion from underground that could be linked to a volcanic eruption or a nuclear device. But considering it's in the middle of all these people, it seems to suggest some sort of dirty bomb, which would be a small-scale nuclear device, possibly blowing up Wall Street. And, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with it. So, you guys, hopefully nothing happens, but gematria wise, IPEC GOAT 2 wise, and real world wise, the 21st is definitely looking like a potential for volcanic eruptions and tsunamis to happen, so be very aware of that. If those two volcanoes do erupt, and again, just in the reference to two volcanoes erupting, when you've got the seeds inside the apple, you've got the roots connecting together. So it could be, you know, Kilauea on one side, Mount Etna on the other side, creating this eruption. And then we have the third one, which is either linked to La Cumbre Vieja, they cause it to erupt and it causes the tsunami, or the tsunami is generated directly by the nuclear device, being most likely Poseidon. That's the only weapon I know of that can generate a very large tsunami to affect the coasts of countries. So, you guys, pray against it, but be cautious that it may happen. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.